man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out.
All right, I talked to my person yesterday, and I got another video coming that's going to be about some rumors that you guys might be interested that could happen in 2021. Well, let's talk about today. Well, this rumor, excuse me. So, apparently, Shawn Porter turned down $1 million. He said it on his podcast, and let's talk about what Shawn Porter is asking for to fight Terence Crawford. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And, yeah, man, my bad. I was zoned out for a minute. But yeah, I heard that he asking for some meals. All right, I'll just leave it at that. He asking for a few million to fight Terence. All right. But let's talk about more of what he worth. You look at that fight. Let's say you put Terence and Shawn Porter on pay-per-view. How well does that fight do? Shawn Porter don't have a following. Everybody act like him and Earl Spence, they had to throw down in the century. Now, they redo that fight. Maybe they had more people buying the pay-per-view instead of it doing 200 and whatever it did. It might do 400. It might do 500 because that's a known product, okay? You know what you're going to get. But to be honest, Terence Crawford ain't had much success on pay-per-view, especially when HBO forced his fight with Victor Postal to go on pay-per-view. It did like 50, 70,000 buys. And that was kind of the end of relationship with Top Rank and HBO. What happened there? Bob Arum worked so hard to get Al Heyman threw off of HBO that, you know, when that product was gone, and then when De La Hoya came back from Al Heyman and Showtime, Top Rank and Golden wouldn't have nothing to offer. None. They have nothing to offer. So, you know, pretty much he messed up by hating on Al, and he had to find himself on ESPN. There was some talks that Top Rank might have their own channel, but they went to ESPN, right? So at that point in time, they wasn't paying for no more Bob Arum fights. They weren't paying for no Bob fights. So they was mad at Bob Arum, so they took the fight with Victor Postal and didn't do well on pay-per-view. And I remember people saying, well, Crawford ain't fought nobody. Well, a lot of people in the press was picking Victor Postal to beat Terence Crawford. Y'all forgot he beat the machine. So that and that Gamboa fight, a lot of people, them two fights that a lot of people didn't think Crawford was going to win. You know, but, you know, then he did what? 100,000 with Amir Khan, whatever that was. All right. People say, well, how did Amir Khan get $5.5 million? Because Amir Khan bought in international money. Amir Khan got a following. If that fight was probably pay-per-view, or it was bought by a TV station or a network in the UK and all that stuff. So that's how Amir Khan got all that money. Amir Khan got paid because he was an international pool. Shawn Porter not a national pool. So you look at it, you say, what does Shawn Porter bring to the table? He don't bring a fan base. He can't fight at home because nobody cares. Remember, he's fighting Ugas. When he fought Ugas, he made $1.5 million. Ugas made $300,000. That's a fact. So when he fought Ugas, you know, he made $1.5 million, and Al Heyman overpaid him for that fight. But then again, they couldn't find nowhere to put the fight. First, it was supposed to be in Vegas. Vegas didn't want the fight. Then they took it to StubHub, whatever it's called now. They finally took the fight. He can't go back home to Cleveland and Akron area and fight. And I'm not saying that to diss Shawn Porter. I'm just saying you don't have no following. Because Al Heyman overpaid you. That don't mean that's where your market status is at. You know, and to be honest, Shawn Porter, if we really putting the boxing on the true scale, Shawn Porter probably ain't $1 million fighter. If we talking about 10, 15 years ago, he ain't $1 million fighter. If we talking about what you pull, your popularity, blah, 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 if we in the same boxing world, Shawn Porter probably a $500,000 fighter. There's no disrespect to him. But, you know, a lot of guys, you know, Keith Thurman wouldn't be a $3 million fighter. At his peak, he'd probably be a $1 million fighter. But then again, Al Heyman changed the pay scale up. And then Eddie Hearn changed it up. But to be honest, I heard he asked for 3. He really wanted 3. He telling them 5. So he asked for $5 million from Top Rank to fight Terence. But he really would take the tree. So, you know, he really would take the 3. But that'd be interesting because you can't, that's really a regular TV fight. And really, they want Bob Arum to pay that bag But Bob offered him $1 million. He publicly turned it down. And probably turned it down. And he want money. He want way more money. And to be honest, Bob Arum and Top Rank ain't trying to dig in their pockets at all. He barely want to pay his fighters. Remember, he didn't want to pay Teofimo Lopez an extra $1 million to fight Lomachenko. So we talking about cheapskate. He ain't paying his own fighters. He ain't paying other fighters to come on. Now, at one point, I heard he did offer Shawn a deal after he beat Danny Garcia, and Kenny Porter and him humbly turned it down. They said they lowered to Al. But to be honest, like Shawn Porter not about to go over there and do 300, 400 pay-per-views with Terence Crawford. Hell no. And then if they was to do that type of pay-per-view, Shawn and Kenny gonna have to open their mouth, and Terence and Bomac gonna have to. We didn't know Bomac got a problem open his mouth. He gonna have to open his mouth. And then I heard Al Heyman don't even want to do the fight on PBC, so he want Bob to front the bill because he didn't use all up, and he didn't use Shawn Porter up. Ain't nothing else he can do with Shawn Porter. But then again, they trying to get Shawn super paid over there, but it just don't make no financial sense. Because where you going to put that fight on? You can't put it on pay-per-view. You know, you put it on regular TV, y'all taking the loss. It's just, you know, I'm not mad at Shawn. If I'm getting paid over there, I got 1.5 to fight Ugas. Of course I want 3 or 4 to fight Terence Crawford. You know, and what if you got paid to fight Shawn, to fight Errol? I heard him and Kenny living nice. I heard they live in the same area, same community that Floyd live in. So, you know, they did something right. And obviously, I think there's less pressure on Shawn Porter to perform in that fight. Because Shawn ain't got shit to prove. Shawn didn't beat Danny, to beat Ugas, and he came up short versus Keith, Kel, and Earl. What else he got to prove? Why would he come in that fight nervous? If anything, Terence got something to prove to the fans, and he's shown that he cared what the fans think by hopping on IG, explaining himself to the fans and what he's saying and what he's thinking. At the end of the day, instead of having Bernie defend him and his sister defend him, you know, I'm not mad at him for defending himself. Sometimes you gotta let people know. People say, well, why you always tell us what you do? Because you motherfuckers act like y'all inconsiderate. Y'all act like y'all don't know. Y'all take a nigga for granted. Sometimes you gotta let these people know what you did and what you thinking. And sometimes people say, oh, it don't bother you. It should bother you. With social media and the way word travel, it should bother you. Oh, he ain't did this, he ain't did that. But some of these new boxing fans don't remember when Press Row had Victor Poster beating him. When most people like me thought Gant Bull was going to get him. You know, done more of a challenge than Earl Spence ever had in his career. Ain't never been a fight that Earl fought that people thought Earl was going to lose on the prize fight level. None. Even the Kell Brook fight. You know, because Kell Brook came down, thought Kell was going to get him. Kell looked good. Kell was winning that fight, but Earl had another gear that Kell didn't have. And I don't think that was so much, Kell just cutting down, just that Kell can go to that level. But people can make the assumption that Kell had to cut the weight. That Kell was beat up from the Golovkin fight, and I understand it, you know. But Kell had the option to fight Earl Spence or fight Jesse Vargas for a belt, and Eddie Hearn steered him the wrong way. But to be honest, I don't really see how that fight gonna get made with those type of demands that Shawn Porter and Al Heyman give it to go over there. He not that pulled. Just because PBC say your numbers is this or you did this, that, and the third, don't mean Top Rank believe. And people say, well, Top Rank don't want to pay the money. We know Top Rank didn't want to give Teofimo Lopez an extra $1 million. So you think they want to give Shawn 3 or 4 extra $1 million? Hell no. Hell no, they don't want to give him that money. Shawn Porter not going to bring no new fans. You know, now if it was Errol Spence, maybe Bob would dig in his pocket. Maybe Top Rank would dig in his pocket. Maybe it was Keith Thurman. But then again, just because you in the PBC, stratosphere, you know, and you big shit there and you making this money, don't mean the zone of PBC gonna pay you that money or Top Rank gonna pay you that money. But I ain't mad at Shawn. If Shawn don't take this fight, remember Shawn said he'll move up fight for Jamil Charlo. That's a fight that I want to see. Shawn doing good on TV, on NBC, on Fox, you know. So Shawn getting the bag. So necessarily Shawn did everything but move back up and get a title at another weight class. And that seemed not to be a lot of them dudes' ambition to move to 54 and get a title. Danny spoke on it, but I think it's a bad idea. Keith ain't trying to move up. Only time I want to avenge my loss to Andrade in the amateurs. Shawn, you know, he talked about fighting Jamel. He really ain't trying to move up. Earl ain't trying to move up to 54. He talking about going to 60 fight Canelo. So these dudes ain't talking about moving up, getting another title. And most of these dudes been at welterweight like for years, 5, 6, 7 years, man. But I mean, it is what it is for Shawn. You know, Shawn got his own number. Can't be mad at him. So let me know what you guys think. about Shawn Porter asking for $3 million. Let me know what you guys think. Check out the welterweight playlist. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. All our social media links in the description. Fast way to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. We also got a Facebook group. You want to advertise your business on the channel. Cash App CJ Good 313. And but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time we gone.
Belief about
I'm on the phone.
You on the phone?
Yeah.
You looking at my baby?
No, I ain't looking
right?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, man. Next time we come outside, don't be staring shit like that. I don't like that.
I wasn't looking at him.